What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Controlled Chaos Gaming. My name's Andy, and today we're back with some Pokemon 151 testing. On the left side, we have Zach, one of our members of Controlled Chaos Gaming, playing Colorless Lugia. And on the right side, we have myself playing Charizard EX. These are both decks that have been popping up a lot recently in the regional championships, and you'll likely see a lot of them in Peoria this weekend. We, of course, are testing these decks for Sacramento Regional Championships, which is in middle October. So if you're interested in that, you can go check it out on the Pokemon YouTube channel. They're going to be live broadcasting it on YouTube and Twitch. Now here we go, getting started here. It looks like the Charizard player is starting, so it's going to be a double battle VIP pass. Going to be a great setup here. Likely looking to get a Pidgey, 2 Charmanders, and actually looks like debating the fourth one. Could be an Entei, could be another Charmander, could be another Pidgey. Now in this setup, it's really ideal to have 1 Pidgeot in play and 2 Charizards in play, and then you have, of course, your Entei and Radiant Charizard as your alternate attackers. And it looks like it is going to be that second Pidgey, really valuing having the ability to use Quick Search in a later turn. On the Lugia side here, going to draw for turn, finds a Great Ball, which looks at the top 7, and debating what they want to grab. It looks like it's going to be a Lugia VSTAR. And a V-Guard Energy onto the Lugia in the active, and an Arven. Arven, a great addition into the Lugia deck, of course, allows you to grab things like Ultra Ball. And on top of that, there are a couple tool cards that we have added to this deck, such that they are Bravery Charm and Tool Jammer. Arven is also good because it can find you Lost Vacuum, which can bump Path of the Peak in sticky situations. So, looks like playing Arven here, though, for just the Ultra Ball. Must have prized the tool cards. And we're going to see if the Ultra Ball gets played this turn, or if they're going to hold it for the following turn. And it looks like it's going to be Read the Wind from this Lugia, so really not afraid of getting knocked out this following turn, as they should be. This deck cannot really do anything too insane on its turn 2. Of course, Charizard EX is damage capped at 180 until prizes have begun to be taken. Is going to use that Infernal Rain ability, though, to attach 3 energy onto the field. Now, 2 of them are going to the Charizard EX and 1 to the Charmander for a future turn. We could see, of course, an Escape Rope or Penny to pick up this Charizard and move it out of the active spot. And it looks like with this hand, yep, is going to be a Penny, so moving that Charizard EX to the active spot. And this is really good getting the aggression onto that Lugia turn 1. Now, V-Guard is not important in this matchup because the Charizard EX is an EX Pokemon and not a V Pokemon, preventing the V-Guard from reducing any damage. Ooh, here we go, though. So we see a Capturing Aroma for another Archeops, and we're going to see an Ultra Ball to get rid of that Archeops. So this is going to be 2 Archeops in the discard pile, which enables Lugia VSTAR to use its Summoning Star for 2 Archeops. That way, this board can be accelerated with Primal Turbo. Looks like debating what else to get rid of is going to be that Lugia V, and debating what to grab looks like a Snorlax here. Snorlax, of course, very good in this matchup, as you can hit for 180 damage, and it does not go to sleep with that therapeutic energy, so is going to be able to 2-shot a Charizard EX. They are going to evolve into the Lugia V-Star here and use Summoning Star to put 2 Archeops into play and use that Primal Turbo to accelerate some energy. Gift Energy, of course, always a good option, is going to allow the player that gets knocked out to draw up to 7 if it has a Gift Energy attached. And it looks like a Therapeutic Energy and Double Turbo Energy. The Charizard player reminding them that the Double Turbo does prevent them from taking a 2-shot on this active Charizard. However, they are going to attack with the active Lugia V-Star, so not going to matter in this scenario. And this is definitely pretty even for both players, I'd say, at this moment. However, the Colorless Lugia does have the option later in the game to use Mew EX for a big knockout. And it looks like they're going to use Tempest Dive for 200 damage here, and no Stadium to discard, so it's going to go over to the Charizard side. Now the Charizard side just drew a Pidgeot, and it looks like it's going to be a Lumineon being played here, likely for Arven. Arven, of course, grabs that Rare Candy and a Forest Sealstone, the Rare Candy to get that Pidgeot, and Forest Sealstone can be attached to that Lumineon. Now, no boss's orders this turn means that the Lugia is going to be knocked out. However, there could be a interesting scenario this turn where two Charizards are set up, which is exactly what we're seeing. So going to use that Forest Sealstone Star Alchemy to go grab a Charizard EX, and going to use its ability Infernal Rain, so I don't know why they're shuffling. But the Infernal Rain is going to grab 3 energy out of the deck. Oh, looks like benching the Radiant Charizard, that's why. So the Infernal Rain here, going to go grab a couple energies. Looks like there's only one, so this deck plays 7 energy, so it is 3 prized right now. And of course, if you wanted to ever see our deck list, they are posted on Discord every week, so if you want to go check that out, look at the link in the description for those details. Looks like that Lugia getting knocked out, Gift Energy going to activate, and the Archeops is sent up into the active. Going to draw for turn on the Colorless Lugia side. After getting knocked out here, it is now 6 prizes to 4 prizes, but in either player's favor still because it is so early in the game. We're going to see the Swelling Flash on the Luxray activated. This allows you to play it down as a basic Pokemon onto the bench as long as you are losing the game. So that is the case right now. Ooh, and Mesagosa tails there, so not going to be any help there. Looks like the Colorless Lugia player debating what they want to do next. Of course, Luxray is really good for taking a knockout on the Pidgeot, so if they have the ability to do that this turn, that would be very strong. But if they don't have the ability to do that next turn, they are subject to a potential boss's orders. Looks like using both Primal Turbo here, one to retreat the active and one to put a Gift Energy on this Snorlax. Trying to draw more cards potentially after an Iono is always a great choice. And Thumping Snore here with that Therapeutic Energy will not put the Snorlax to sleep, which means if it is not KO'd, it will be able to attack the following turn. And it looks like that Charizard EX is going down here. The Pidgeot comes into the active spot with that free retreat. And we're going to see a boss's orders right away on that Luxray. Going to use Quick Search now to search the deck for any card. And it's going to be a Super Rod, putting back the Charmander, Charizard, and some energies. Actually going to be just the energies and the Charizard, as a Nest Ball is going to go find one of the other Charmander in the deck. This is going to allow the Charizard player to set up another Charizard EX this game, potentially with that Quick Search ability and Arven. We're likely going to see an attack this turn from the Charizard EX on the bench, as it's going to be able to do 250 damage, which is quite a lot. And it's going to be a retreat into that Charizard and going to use the attack. Oh, there goes a Mesagosa flip. Going to be a Tails, and then they're finally going to use the attack for the knockout. Back over to the Lugia player here. Debating what they want to do this turn, of course, does have access to that Snorlax again and can potentially force them to take an extra prize card, but might be a little scary as the opponent is going to go down to a very low board during the next turn. Debating what to grab here off of this Capturing Aroma, if anything. It looks like Lumineon is being eyed, potentially for a boss's orders for a KO. And it looks like it's going to be another Snorlax instead of that Lumineon. Gonna go back into the deck with that Primal Turbo, and the Mesa Gosa. Mesa Gosa here is gonna grab any Pokemon in the deck. You do, of course, have to meet that requirement of flipping heads, which is not a very easy requirement to meet. And we're going to see the Mesa Gosa grab a Lumineon for a boss's orders. And the Archeops being used for that Primal Turbo on the Snorlax on the bench. And we're going to see boss's orders on the Lumineon taking a knockout here and going to 2 prizes remaining. And we're going to see the Snorlax come into the active here. And a Mew EX placed on the board. And we're going to see Iono here. Oh, already used boss's orders. Okay, good reminder there. No Iono being played this turn. And this is a very easy KO for the Snorlax. Of course, Thumping Snore does 180 damage. And a clean KO on that Lumineon V. Looks like debating if they want to make any more actions this turn. Considering putting another card down, it is going to be that Collapse Stadium to remove both the Pidgey and looks like a Snorlax. Of course, Snorlax having 4 retreat cost is not very ideal. And we're going to see Thumping Snore here take a knockout. They should be putting their Snorlax to sleep because there is no therapeutic energy. However, it is going to get KO'd, so it's not a big deal. Yes, correctly promoting the Pidgeot EX instead of the Charizard thanks to Pidgeot EX's free retreat cost. And attaching to that Charizard, and wow, what an incredible turn they put together. It's a Temple and Iono. So Temple going to turn off that gift energy, and Iono here going to set them down to just 2 cards in hand. And they're going to use Quick Search here for another rare candy, going to Ultra Ball away and grab another Charizard EX. This is incredible. They're basically removing all of the liabilities from the board. They're going to attach with Infernal Rain one more time, and they're going to retreat into this Charizard and use Combustion Blast. Of course, the Radiant Charizard being a 1-prizer does put the opponent in a sticky situation where they are needing boss's orders off of very few cards. And with one Lumineon down and the other one benched, this is not going to be as easy as Luminous Sign for boss's orders. Looks like the Colorless Lugia side debating what they want to do this turn. It's going to be tough because if they want to use Mew EX to copy Infernal Rain, it is still not doing enough damage. Of course, only doing 300 with 4 prizes taken. It does 180 base damage and then 30 damage for each prize your opponent's taken, so it would do 120 more, being exactly 300, but with Charizard having 330 HP, it's just a little short. Ideally, in this matchup, as the Lugia player, you want to take your knockout on a Pokemon like Charizard with the Mew EX, so it forces them to take 2 prizes instead of 1, putting them in an odd prize trade. However, this game was not the case. The opponent, the Colorless Lugia player, did not have the ability to do that. So, looks like they are retreating into Archeops here. Going to use Primal Turbo for a couple cards here. Looks like potentially going to attack with that Archeops, as we see a V-Guard energy attached. And we're going to see another Primal Turbo for a double Turbo energy onto that Mew EX. So it looks like abandoning the play of attacking this turn and deciding to put energy on to retreat the following turn. And on to the Charizard player again. They're going to use Quick Search here for a boss's orders to boss Lumineon V. and they're going to pass the turn thanks to Combustion Blast's additional effect, which requires you to not attack the following turn if you used Combustion Blast on that turn. So looks like they are stuck for one more turn here as we're back to the Colorless Lugia player's turn. Looks like they are going to Ultra Ball here. Actually, they did have another Lumineon in deck, so just choosing not to attack with it. Or not to use the ability on it. They are using this Ultra Ball, however, to find another Mew EX. So going to potentially play that down, try and thin the deck out, is what I'm guessing. And they're in with Primal Turbo right now. They will need 1 energy to retreat this active Lumineon V if they would like to take a knockout on the Radiant Charizard. This is a very interesting situation to be in because all of the energy are counting as colorless energy right now, so not even gift energy could save them from this situation. Looks like going to use Mew EX's Restart attack and retreat into the Archeops. And it's back over to the Charizard side, who is going to grab Boss's orders with that Pidgeot, and that is going to be game over. So the Charizard side winning pretty convincingly over that Colorless Lugia, thanks to the odd prizes being evened out by taking double knockouts on Snorlax. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate you. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. We're almost at 500 subscribers, which is a huge milestone, and we would love to get there by the end of the year. So if you haven't as well, you should go check out the rest of our content on our channel and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. We're going to have more content right after Sacramento Regionals, so we'll see you guys very soon. Take care. My name is Andy as always, and this has been Controlled Chaos Gaming.